Good morning. Good morning. My name is Martha Rice, owner of Complete in Him Life and Health Coaching. And I have with me today Karen Glaze. She's the owner and CEO of Coach Glaze Coaching and Consulting, a sought after transformational life coach, professional speaker, business consultant, author, and the founder and president of the nonprofit Operation Transform. Coach Glaze offers inspiring workshops to businesses large and small around the country. She specializes in transformational, in depth coaching programs that help clients achieve new heights of success, meaning, spiritual aliveness, and expansion in all areas of life and with businesses. She is passionate about expanding small businesses. And so, our topic today is why do small business struggle, because since she's very passionate about that, she will offer at the end a 30-day business jumpstart that she would talk about on how to give your business a facelift. So Karen, so my first question to you today is I brought you on because I'm passionate about just helping people in general and talking about topics that people want to hear about because there are a lot of small businesses out here. But the question I want to ask is, how do you differentiate a hustle versus a small business?
Well, that's an awesome question. Thank you. And first of all, I want to thank you, Martha, for having me on your platform and sharing me with your audience. It's really a pleasure. And hello to you, Ronald, as well. All right. So the question is, how do you differentiate a side hustle?
A side hustle in a small business, because sometimes people.
Yeah. So the first thing I will say is this. If you're working, meaning you're hustling, using the word hustling, to bring money in every day, and you're at a point where if you don't work, no money's coming in, that's really a side hustle. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that, and that is where I work with my clients, is that consider as a side hustler, you're self-employed. It's just like a job. It's just that you own your job as opposed to being an employee of a company. You're still trading your time for money. Okay.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. Now, if you're a small business owner, that is where, and that's the area that I thrive in and I absolutely love, because that is where I work with you to actually build systems so that even when you're not working, you don't physically need to be there, your business is still bringing in income. That's the difference between the two.
Right. That's true. That's true. I definitely want to get your opinion on that because there are a lot of businesses where they have come from companies that they used to work for. How do you transform them into gaining that business acumen?
Mentality.
Yeah, that mentality. And um yeah, how do you get them to transform in that way? Because a lot of times, I know me, I had a hard time and still do sometimes have a hard time making that shift in my mental state that I work for myself.
Yeah. So yes, that is the biggest challenge. So there is let's just put it like this. It's a weakness and a strength at the same time when you really branch out on your own and you say, yes, I want to become a business. I want to start a business. I want to be my own boss, right? And like I said, what I'm about to say, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because when you're self-employed, meaning you have the mentality of being an entrepreneur, the blessing is, and a curse is, that you tend to do it on, I have to do it all on my own.
Okay.
Meaning, yes, you can do it all on your own, but then there's a thin line where you feel like you can't leave it up to someone else to do it because you have a mentality that they're not going to be able to do it the way I do it. And
That is so true.
and my name is on the line, right? And then that is where you get hooked to be like, no, I have to do it all on my own.
Okay. That is so true. That is so true because it's really, yeah, you do feel like you're afraid to open that door
Yes,
because your branding is on the line.
right.
But it's actually businesses, and correct me if I'm wrong, businesses are built on partnerships.
Correct. Yes, it
And
is.
so tell us about what you do with business, small business, with people who have with entrepreneurs. What do you do with entrepreneurs?
All right. So there are a few levels and a few areas that I work with. First of all, I work not only with your business, but I work with you on shifting your mindset.
Okay.
I work with you on building your leadership skills. And what I mean by that is that I work with you where you cause a team and you cause others to have them work for you. I work with you to actually create a system, like I said, that when you're not working, you could literally decide, okay, I'm taking a week off, and know that your business is still going to generate money for you because you have the structure in place. Okay. I may be jumping ahead about this, but are you familiar with the cash flow quadrant from Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yes, I
Yeah.
am familiar. I'm definitely with I have a little bit of accounting background. So
So what it is that I really work with clients on shifting you from the self-employed mindset to really being a business owner and being an investor. Because once your business gets to that level where you have the 5 pillars in place and everything is flowing, then we work on exactly how it is you actually make that money grow and grow. And what
okay.
you can do with that to actually become bigger. And
So
that
what's the difference between the self-employed mindset and the business owner mindset?
so inside of the business owner mindset, you own a system. You own a
Okay.
system and you have a team. And that system and the team works in tandem to really have things on autopilot. See, when you're a business owner, like for example, with me, anyone who comes into my business, if something were to happen to me, my business will still go on without me because literally I have step-by-step procedures in place on if someone comes in, they could literally go to this particular procedure and go, oh, this is how she did this. This is how this should be done. And they could literally pick up the ball and run with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell us about more about how do you shift that mindset?
All right. So first of all,
Just a high level.
no, it's quite okay. So when I
Okay.
work with clients, the first thing is I always start with the mentality, begin with the end in mind. And and I'm going to break it down a little bit further because like we know as business owners or self-employed business owners, right? Self-employed,
Right.
you have a passion about something. That's what called you to actually get your business up and running.
Correct. Mhm.
So we come in with the mentality, you know what? I need to work for myself and I'm just going to get the ball, do what I need to do, and I'm going to work. I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to make it, right? And here's the challenge. When you're a small business owner, and I say begin with the end in mind, you want to know exactly where your vision is and where you actually want to take that business, right?
Right.
And so many people, they come in and they were like, you know what? I just want to be able to work for myself. I want to bring in my income. However, you want to know exactly when you start your business, do you want to just get to the viability stage or do you want to get to the scaling stage or do you want to work on a succession plan? You want to know where you want to go. That's the first thing. Because when I work with a client, that's the first thing we get flat because that is where I go to the mentality shifting. Because if you want to be like, you know what, I just want to be in the viability stage where my business is just making money every month. I'm doing okay. That's one method, and I know exactly where to go with that. But
Okay.
for example, for myself, I'm 47 years old. But guess what? I'm already working on my succession plan. I've built my business, and everything I do with the business is with the intention of selling it in the end.
Okay.
I'm still going to have a cut. Whenever I sell it, there are going to be provisions in place where I'm still getting a cut of the pie because, hey, that's my baby. But
Got it.
I'm already working on my succession plan. Hence, for example, what really calls to me is my nonprofit Operation Transform. So whatever
Okay.
it is I'm doing with that business, the money is funneling to source that because
Okay.
that's my legacy.
So it's separate from your life coaching.
Yes, it is.
And so basically you're a life coach that specializes in small businesses.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
No, but the thing is, it's like this. When I started, right, I always knew I wanted to sell the company. I always started with the end in mind. I drink my own wine. I knew I wanted to get to a place where I'm going to sell the business. So when I first started, I started as a Dream Builder certified coach. And what that is that I help people build their dreams and turn it into reality. All right. And I really do feel from the bottom of my heart is that when each and every human being is living the life they're meant to live, this world will be a better place. That's the reason why I got into coaching.
I totally 100% agree.
Our communities will be better. Our families will be better. i.e., we start like closing the gap on poverty. We start closing the gap on crime. Because when you're living your dream and you're doing what you're meant to do, you don't have time for all that other stuff.
That's so true. They say if you're talking about other people's business, you won't have time. If you're talking about other people's businesses, you can't grow.
Right.
But if you're not, you don't have time to be in somebody else's business because you're so busy working on your own.
On your own. That's correct.
Tell me more about what do you mean by drink my own wine for someone who doesn't know?
All right. So pretty much everything I preach, I follow. Everything I do in business, it's been tried by me. I've actually done it.
Okay.
Okay. And I follow what I preach. So for example, if there's a breakdown along the way, for example, there are different stages in the business game plan, right? The phases of business. And for example, if I see, one of the things that I work with businesses on as far as numbers, knowing your numbers, it's really clear you need to know your numbers. And as a CEO of your company, that's what you focus on because numbers tell a story.
Yes.
Okay. So literally at the beginning of every week, in the middle of every week, and at the end of every week, I'm looking at the scoreboard. So for example, every stage I have a measure. And when I see something is dipping, there's a breakdown in a number, I know exactly where to go, where the point of contact is that I need to do to tweak that and fix it right away. Because
so you're looking at outliers.
Yes. And I know exactly, okay, if this is not producing this result that I planned on, what is the breakdown? And I go straight to the source and I get that fixed.
Okay.
Okay. And that's another thing where, small businesses, they struggle with is that a lot of small businesses do not know their actual numbers. Like, for example, having a system in place. For anything, the method, or let's just say the blueprint of business is pretty simple. We complicate it because we try to reinvent the wheel.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what systems when you say having a system, are you talking about an operating system or a plan? What are you referring to for the person who doesn't know?
All right, so there are actually 5 pillars. So first I mentioned the 5 phases, right? The 5 phases, of course, knowing where it is you want to go with your business.
Okay.
Then we have the 5 pillars, which are, for example, you want to look at your leadership, your operations, your marketing, your finance, and you definitely want to look at your team, your personnel.
Okay.
Okay, those are the 5 pillars. Now, if for whatever reason you're ranking low in any one of those pillars, that's where you need to do the most work on. And I'm not going to lie, when I first started out and I had to rate myself on leadership, operation skills, finance, and my team, literally, I would give myself a -1 That's how bad it was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being blatantly honest.
I know what you mean.
Okay. I'm not afraid to say, hey, I've been there. I'm
Right.
not afraid to say, hey, there was a point in time, like literally, I didn't even know how I was gonna pay my electric bill. But you know what? That's what made me who I am today because I understand the struggle. And that's the reason why I'm passionate about helping small business owners get to that next level.
So you're taking a small business from a hustle to an actual corporation where they can
Correct.
operate as a business owner, not just a small business,
Correct. You
if
know,
that's where they want to go.
correct. And that's
Okay.
totally fine. Wherever it is you choose to be, that's totally fine. It's just that I'm committed to you getting to that level so you don't have to struggle and hustle and worry anymore. I want you to be able, you got into business. I'm like, let's be honest, you got into business to have the ability to travel, to take time with your family. And
Yes.
if you're in a business and literally you're up at night not sleeping because you're wondering, oh, I have to do that tomorrow because I need to pay this bill, or I'm not able to take time off, or you know what, I have a headache today, but I have to get up and I have to do this. It defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose.
That's
And
true.
that's the reason
That's true.
why I'm passionate of getting you from here to where you really want to go.
Can I butt in a second?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. I was about to, you look like you was itching to come in.
Oh, well, she
No.
said something. She said something that relates that we're harder on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said you was a -1, I put myself as a -9 because I am so hard on myself that I don't realize the potential that I have
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't that hard on myself, because I want to make myself the best that I could be.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's a one person show, you have to be the best. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes on the same side of that, you knock yourself down without nobody else doing that for you. Do it to yourself. So
Yeah.
being a life coach, both y'all being a life coach, how do you overcome that?
Right. So I'll tell you what, the biggest investment you can make in yourself as a life coach is that you also need to have a coach for yourself.
Yes,
That's,
absolutely.
you know, for me, I'm going to tell you, I have 3 coaches that I currently work with. All right. I have a business coach, I have a mindset coach, and I have a personal coach. Because guess what? They need to all hold me account to where it is I need to be. And everyone, as coaches, we all have our specialty.
Yes.
Yeah. And the number one rule I say is that if, for example, you have a coach and your coach says, oh, I don't have a coach, you need to be concerned about that because you always want to keep growing.
Yes, yes.
And
That is so true.
I think that's one of the questions I asked Martha and Joseph. I said, well, who do you go to? And they both named. I said, we got people we go to because we're human. We suffer the same thing everybody else suffered from, and I understand that. Now Martha, straight up, I told her some stuff one time, and she looked at me. No, she just said, "Ron, tell me you didn't say that." I said, "No, I didn't, but I thought it." But you are absolutely right because we all need to seek out, and I think with small business, the way they do, they're scared to trust. And I think that's the main issue is trust and faith. Because with small business, while they're struggling, to me, one reason is we're scared to go to somebody else because we're afraid they're going to steal our ideas, break us down, and do something like that. Because there's a trust give and take in both directions. And if you don't trust, you're not going to ever prosper if you don't trust.
So
That
true.
is so true. So Karen, in your line of work and all the people you have encountered, what would you say the answer to why small businesses struggle?
Well, I can tell you all of that, but Ronald made a perfect point. Then I
You
would
made a good point with the trust. Yes.
what I'll tell you, it comes down to fear.
Mm-hmm.
Comes down to fear. Because when you're trusting, there's no time for you to be fearful of someone taking your ideas or someone not doing it as best as you can do it. right? And here's the thing. Many people out there may have the same ideas. Think about it. However, consider for a moment your idea has that special touch that all you need is that
Yes.
one thing to take it in a totally different direction. All right? There are going to be copycats out there. Yes, they will be. But trust and believe, no one will do it as best as you if you came up with that idea. All right?
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that.
The other thing I'll say is this, and I always tell my clients this, and I drink my own wine. Fear is your friend. Befriend your fear. So, for example,
Yes.
okay, and I'm going to use this for an example. I remember I was getting into a real estate deal, right? And I had to put up $100,000. And of course, you know, with investing, it's never certain. You may lose $100,000. Think about that. I don't want to lose that money. I worked hard for that.
Right.
And then as soon as like I knew I had a date when I had to put in that money, I remember literally I wasn't sleeping, my heart started pounding, and all these what if. And then I just said, stop. What fear? What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
But guess what? The moment I did that, what fear is actually telling me is to put certain things in place to ensure that you do get your return on your investment back so you don't lose that money. That's all it was saying. You want to
because fear is part of helping you. It's actually it is your friend because it is saying danger, danger, look out for this, look out for that. It's making you aware of something that's happening so it can protect it's trying to protect you.
Yes. It's just telling you that there's a part that you have not yet crossed, and these are the things you may need to look out for. So then I knew, okay, this is the first time I'm doing a real estate investment venture, okay? And I don't know particulars about that. So what did I do? I went and I sought out people who knew about it.
Mhm.
And trust me, it's like this. I always say it's like we make things so complicated. If you even think of the Bible like this, ask and you shall receive. You just have to know what
Yes.
questions to ask and who to go to, and your questions will be answered. Okay?
That's true. And it's that trust factor
Mhm.
of going to the right person. So you have to do your due diligence.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you brought that up about fear and trust and faith and all that good stuff going on, I remember I still do it to this day. I tell everybody, they look at me and say, what you mean you love your haters? I said, I do. I love my haters because that's my free marketing team. That's how I look at that because they out there spreading the word for you and you haven't spent a dime on it.
True.
Because everybody's not going, they're going to listen to them talk bad about whoever they're talking bad about. What's that old saying? Curiosity killed the cat. They're going to be,
Yeah, they're gonna want to know.
they're going to be curious because they want to see if this person really like this and they find out that they're really not, you know, and I enjoy that. So that's one of the fears right there with your haters, you know, golly, what they're going to say bad about me. Well, you know, this is my word. Martha would tell you, I don't care. Talk about me. Go for it. Have fun. Only me and God know the truth.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, so fear is, and you know what? A lot of times, like we both are life coaches, and some people will say, "Why would she put a life coach on?" And she's a life coach because I have no reason to compete with you because we have two different we have two different niches, so to speak. But not only that, I can't service the world, and I would never try to.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have all the answers.
Mhm.
But what I'm good in is what I'm good in, and I have a certain audience for that, and I'm okay with it. I'm not insecure about where I'm at in my mental health life coaching that I do. I'm not afraid to branch out and say, let's bring this person in and talk about this. I enjoy it because what you're bringing is what we need in the business world. We need to, it's a lot of backdrop not just with small businesses, but Black-owned small businesses.
Yeah.
And so when in the work that you do in dealing with African Americans, how would you say the mentality is when it comes to small businesses?
So, the mentality and the funny thing, I'm going to start with this, right? And I will say this. I think because of the historical, let's just say historical background of slavery, right?
Yes.
As a small Black-owned business owner, like literally, you do your best to try your best to protect what's yours. There's the trust factor, knowing that I need to do it on my own. Maybe having the mindset of, oh, I need to look out for myself all the time, looking over my back to see who's coming for me, right? There's something in the culture that's there, right?
Yes.
Now,
That's true.
I'm gonna say that I came from a small island of St. Lucia. That's where I'm from. And we have the same historical background because there were slaves there. Okay. As a matter of fact, my great-great-great-grandfather was a French slave owner, white slave owner, right? And the difference is that my family was privileged enough. I'm from a family of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
But the thing that I noticed with my family and the reason why they succeed, it's because they work together and they trust each other and they have other teams that they
I like
bring.
that.
Okay. And I always joke and say my family is like a mini mafia, right? I'm gonna say, I always say that because when I look at my family, the way they do things together because
Mhm.
that's how they expand. Like literally, my family still meet together for Sunday night prayers. They meet together for dinners. And at that dinner plan, one of them, for example, I'm going to just say this, use this as an example, owns a gas station. And then they'll go to say, this is how I'm planning on expanding this gas station. I'm going to be bringing in the making of bread, for example, because everybody needs to buy bread on their way home,
Right.
right?
So true.
Here's the thing. That one family member is not going to make a move until they get the alignment from others. And then they then reach out their net to say, okay, to make the most of all of this, how can we support you? How can we get up under you to lift you up?
Wow. It's powerful.
Okay, and that's the reason why I say that. And then the other thing that I notice, and I'm going to bring in a different class, and I love my Indian people because guess what? I have an Indian heritage. But you
Okay.
ever notice when someone comes from a different country, India, for example, one person will come out and they'll buy a house, and in that house, they have maybe 10 other family members come and they all live in that house. And then next you know, they have one gas station, two gas stations, three gas stations, and they're helping each other along. Where we fail as Black business owners or Black self-employed is that I think it's because of the stigmatism, like I said, of slavery, where you feel like you have to have your own and you can't trust that we're out there on our own. The only advice I could give is this. You need to find your own clique that you can actually trust.
Yes.
You can vet them. You can vet
Yes.
them. You can put them to a test to see, okay. But the other thing is, let that not blind you, because sometimes we may make up our own perception about someone. One of the things that I always even tell my clients when it comes to their personnel, if for example, I went to an employee and I said, hey, I need you to do this, or maybe they didn't do it or they responded in a different way, I always start with this question. When you did this or when you did that, this is how it made me feel. Was that your intention? and give that person an opportunity to actually say what was really there for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important.
Okay, communication is really big
Communication.
in trusting. It's really, really big. And I know I went out on a tangent, but
No. This is good. It's good because it's good because in order for you to build your business, you have to have partnerships. You cannot do it alone. You can't be a one-man show. I've learned that you have to partner with different people, and you can't say, well, and you can't be so personal to the point that you just keep it business. But you can't be so personal to the point you bring in emotions and feelings and attitude, and competition. We'll partner. Let's work together. Like you and I, we work together.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me throw something at you. I always got something. Martha knows this. So when you talk about Black business and all that stuff, I was reading an article about 10 years ago, and it made a lot of sense because when slavery was around, if one slave did something wrong, they all got in trouble. And I'm thinking right now, we're looking at that right now with businesses. I'm afraid to do business with other Black guy because if he mess up, we all gonna get it. And that's the thinking that I'm seeing that some are using that same plantation mentality. And they have to learn how to trust each other. And Martha hit something on the head earlier. Oh, I don't forgot the word for it, Martha. Excuse me. But you hit something on the head that it'll come to me down the line, that we're scared to venture out. We're even scared to mix it up with our own people because we always think they want something. So how many Black business owners that when somebody Black go to, what you gonna give me a hookup? Well, you don't go down the street, you go to Joe Blow and ask for a hookup, but you come to me and you want to hook up. And the number one thing I found out about small business, especially Black small businesses, is the service. That was the number one that they told me about. It was the service they were getting. And that's where a lot of people fail at.
Yeah. So there are a few ways that I can go with this, but I think I'm going to stick to this one. First thing, you want to align yourself with someone who has the same values as you do.
Yep. Core values is important.
Your values are important, meaning their integrity is on the same as you. So you have to get to know that person before you go into partnership with them. Okay.
So you build the relationship.
Correct. That's the first thing. Okay. Now, things may break down. Like you're in partnership with someone and it's going to break down. The question is, who do you become in that process when you're breaking the ties with that relationship? Because there are times, for example, as you grow, there are going to be times where you're going to say, you know what? I need to break off. This partnership is no longer serving me.
Right.
All right. The other part I'm going to say is this: know your worth, because you want to be able to negotiate exactly what's going on. And this is another example I use with businesses. Like, for example, a lot of businesses starting out today, they focus on spending a whole bunch of money on marketing, on advertising, or the internet. Okay. But the thing is, you want to create partnership with your own Black community owners, business owners, because that's how it's kind of like this. How far do you think you'll get if you're doing it on your own or if you're doing it as a team, as a collective? Right?
You can get so much further if you do it as a team.
Correct. And so I use the example of this. We've all been into Walmart, right? And in every Walmart, there is either a Subway or a McDonald's. Okay? As big as Walmart is, as big as Subway is, or as big as McDonald's is, right? That's a joint venture right there. Because you know that Walmart is getting a cut of everyone who's done shopping with them, who's going into that Walmart, who's actually in their store.
Yes.
That's a joint venture. Sure, that's
Another stream of income.
that's another stream of income. And that's the thing. You want to know exactly who you're creating partnership with. You want to do your work and you want to have your agreements laid out so no one can go back and talk about, oh, I went into business with this person and she promised me this and then she didn't follow up. No, if everything is in writing and it's legally bounded, there's no miscommunication in any of that. So I always say that. First thing is know the rules of the game. When you go into partnership with someone, you create the rules of the game and you play by the rules of the game.
And when we say partnership, it's not necessarily saying you're gonna join my business. It's no, I'm a partner with you so we can excel our businesses.
Right.
You know what? That is, quit reading my mind over there, young lady. What happened with me is things fell through where I was supposed to be at. Then I came into this historical museum over here. Mr. Williams was talking more for me to be in here than me myself talking to be in here. Because I've been here since June 1st. And I would say with me partnering with him, when you brought that partnership up, I brought people in here that's never been in this museum before as my guests and stuff, and they bring other people in. Then people come in seeing there's a radio station in here, and my listenership went up. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. When you talk about partnership, there's no money exchanging hands. It's just we're helping out each other. It's almost like bartering, but you're not bartering. You know, just like in the old time, hey, I'll do this for you. A handshake went a long ways. Trust me, we did sign documents to make sure everything is legal. We did do that, and we went to the understanding that we're going to be here helping each other out. And when you brought that partnership up with Walmart, McDonald's, I saw a thing. I said, that's basically what I'm doing right here. And it's one black business owner to another black business owner. This is what we're doing. And the look on people's face when they come in here and say, I didn't know I was here.
Right. That's true. It's like a hidden gem.
Yeah. And then the ones that come in, they say, I didn't know you had a radio station here. So, you know, we're helping each other out with good marketing. No haters, but good marketing tools. So that was a good point you brought up.
Yeah.
Now imagine if it's like it branches off into other forms of different things. But it's so interesting because we have to be open to, like you said, we have to understand who we're working with, because how could two walk unless they agree?
Right.
And so we have to make sure that we understand what's going to happen, be clear on the communication, contract, keep it business, and keep, so we can continue to grow. And you're right, that's awesome that your family do that. But I'm serious. When I look at what I do for a living, my family, I know they respect me at a certain level, but I don't know if it's enough to say, hey, let me refer her, because referrals, my business have grown tremendously with referrals. Referrals is the best marketing tool.
Yes, it is.
Because it's word of mouth, you validate it. Even though my family respect me to a certain degree, I ask myself, how come they don't market me? I don't get that support.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, right? And then if we did go into a business, I often wonder if we did go into like this whole thing, because I have so much talent in my family that I've used a lot of them for different things, because I want them to prosper in their gift.
Right.
But if you have to give me good customer service, because if I'm gonna refer you, don't mess up my branding. Not only that, I want to see you grow, but you have to operate like a business, not a hustle.
Right.
Because a hustle, you're gonna do a quick win, and you're not gonna be solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're in business, you care about the people. I want my talented family members to care enough about what they're doing to care about the people who they giving service to. That's what I look for. When I look for people to partner with, I want to know, how are you servicing your people? That's a core value for me, because I care about people. And I've been burnt enough. I don't want people who I refer to them to be burnt. So I'm very particular about who I refer out.
Wow. Well, when you said family, I'm just going to butt in real quick. I have undercover listeners that are my family members. They don't tell me they're listening. All of a sudden we be talking, hey, remember that person you had on your show the other day? Oh, so you listen? Yeah, you never told me. And so I know they support me from afar, but I never see them on listening, and they do. So I call my family undercover listeners.
Mhm.
So anyway, when Martha said family, I thought about that because
We got enough of them. I mean, and I got enough family members to promote the heck out of me. But you know what I mean? But profit ain't welcome in their own hometown. So
yeah.
But anyway, question for you, Karen. In your so you do also leadership skills. And so you help them develop those. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Whoa, well,
Or is that too general? Should I be
well, it
specific?
is general, but it's a big part.
It is a huge part.
It's a huge part, especially when you're running a business. Leadership.
Yes.
Like I said, inside of leadership, in fact, any single part of the business, I like to say it's a game. And like with any game, you have to have rules.
Yes.
Kind of like the game of basketball. I'm not a basketball player, but before I go play the game, before you call foul, I have to know the rules of the game.
Right.
And so inside of leadership, you want to ensure that when I work with you in creating your core values, your culture, your vision. And inside of leadership, you need to be aligned with those items. Like literally in your way of being. How do you carry yourself? How do your employees view you? How do others view you? Does that make sense?
That make a lot of sense.
Okay, that's a big part. The other thing, like I said, well, going back, I don't think I shared this with you in the past, but inside of leadership, many business owners do not know how to be leaders.
That's true.
And what I mean by that is that they focus on being liked by their employees.
Mm,
You get where I'm going with this?
I get exactly where you're going with that.
When you're focusing on being liked, instead of being who you are as your core value, as your company, the face of your company, that's where things begin to break down.
Right.
So
That is so true.
you have, like I said, I work in all those areas because literally when I work with a client, I work with you in all those areas, your leadership. We look to see exactly what the breakdowns are there. Like I'm working with a client right now and she has a team who's walking all over her, not showing up to work, doing this, doing that. And I'm thinking to myself, and they're still there.
Right.
Okay.
Can't make it personal.
You can't make it personal because this is your business and you're the heartbeat of your business. And the heart.
They have to be able to have that heart like I have.
Yeah. And here's the thing, it doesn't work that, for example, you have a team member who constantly calls out or who maybe goes to a yoga class. Your employee is the face of your business, but she goes to her yoga class with her baby on her hip. It's things like that, like I go and you haven't done anything about that yet. What's there for you?
Right.
So that's the reason why when I work with leaders, when I work with you, it's not just, I just work with you on this particular area. No. The majority of my clients, I work with you for 6 months to a year. And
Okay.
trust me, every quarter, I'm watching everything. I'm watching everything like a hawk. All right. And then like literally you have to be, you cannot be afraid to make the decisions, the firm decisions. Because guess what? You are the face of your company. You are your company and you are your brand.
Yes.
And like literally you have to guard that as a lion or a lioness protecting their cub. It's that
Yes.
simple.
That is so true.
Okay.
That is so true. So you have a workshop coming up in October, correct?
Yes.
Is that what does that look like?
All right. So the 30-day business jumpstart. It's an introductory coaching program where I will meet with clients. It's a group coaching program where we meet once a week, every Saturday for 4 consecutive Saturdays. Each call is an hour. All right. Now, to work with me on a small business scale, depending on your budget, the minimum I will work with a client is $650 a month. That's the minimum. All right.
Okay.
But in the 30-day jumpstart, I'm actually going to be working with a group of small business owners where we look from the very beginning where it is that you want to go. And literally, I'll give you the foundational tools on everything you need to give your business a facelift and shift it in the direction that you want it to go.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it like a classroom setting?
It's a group setting on Zoom.
It's a group setting on Zoom. Okay.
Setting on Zoom. Trust me, I'm not going to have you disclosing your personal finances or anything like that. If you want to do that, you get to work with me one-on-one. You could literally give me a call because literally by you saying yes to the 30-day jumpstart, I'm giving you unlimited access to me and my team for 30 days.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Literally, I'm giving you access to me and my team for 30 days where literally we go to work and see, okay, this is what I recommend you do for your business and this is it. At the end of that, you choose to break ties should you choose to. However, my intention is that, yes, you will say yes to working with me long term because my mission is to have you thrive. My mission is to have your company grow and expand. Because again, my ultimate goal is that when your business is working, your employees' lives are working, your communities are working, their families are working.
Okay. And how much is that program?
I think for your audience, I gave you guys a discounted price of $257.
Okay. $257 for the 30-day
For the 30-day
business
jumpstart,
jumpstart.
correct.
That's nice. That's nice.
What you with that odd number 257?
247. 247. Well, here's the thing.
Why not two? You know, I'm just gonna say this. If somebody say I'm not paying $100 for that, but if it's $99 or pay for it, and they don't realize the tax and they're gonna put it over $100, I'm just saying.
All right. So here's the thing about me. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. And here's the thing. 7 is God's number. And so whatever I do with my prices, I always end it with a 7, whatever it is.
Leave me alone, Martha.
That's just my thing.
That's why she liked my business because it's complete in him.
Yeah.
The number 7. No.
That's just me. No. You know, they have their marketing reasons why you don't put something as $100 as opposed to putting 99, you know, all of that stuff just for me, because I solely believe I would not be here. You know, that we could have another session where I actually share with my journey on where I came from. You know, the person who's talking to you right now was a person who attempted suicide 3 times.
Wow.
And I believe I succeeded the last time because I did go to hell. Hell does exist. And
wow.
I came back because there was a voice that said, Father, She has done some good in her life. She deserves a second chance.
Wow.
And I came back. And from then, I've made it my mission to do God's will here on earth. And everything I do, I know this is probably deep, but everything I do is for his kingdom.
We like deep.
No, hey, this
Hey,
is
we like deep
real.
because like
Yeah.
we go deep with other people, and
Yeah.
why not go, why not express it? We like to keep it real, 100.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody I'm not. When you interact with me, you're interacting with the authentic me. And I'm not afraid to say, hey, I had struggles along the way, but you know what? I learned from that and I grew from that. And this is the reason
Yes.
why I'm here, sitting here, and I'm now going to show you how you can as well.
And that's what people want. They want, I know I want someone who has walked that walk. Because
Yeah.
when I do, I'm like you. When I practice what I preach, when I'm with my clients and I have these assessments, I've done the work in them, and they were very successful. And I pinpointed all the pain points and the roadblocks and stuff like that before I introduce something. And when I introduce it, I'm very confident this will work.
Yes.
Except, now I'm gonna mess with Martha right now. It's an exception to the rule. Some of the stuff I shared with her that was going on in my life, she said, "Ooh, I haven't heard of that one before." It's been some things that happened, and I told her about. She said, "Ooh, that's deep. That's different." So Martha picked up some new tools and stuff that went on that she didn't think that anybody would do anything like that. And but she has been my board I could push on, and she'll let me know. And she'll also tell me, "Ron, please tell me you didn't say that." No, I didn't say that, but I thought it. So sometimes I run things by her what I'm going to do. I say, "Martha, what you think about this? Is this okay for me to do?" And she said, no. And I listen. When you brought that up about business and everybody doing things, it is amazing on how many people are out there. You wonder, how do they get their driver license? How do they have kids? Because the thought process is not like ours, which is different. We all think different, but then we have to look at it this way. That's how they were brought up, and that's what they know. So we can't sit back there and call that person dumb or stupid, because they probably think we're dumb and stupid on what we're doing. So it's hard to talk somebody in business and you look at them and say, you doing that? I say to myself, because you don't say nothing too out loud, people running their own business, because they get defensive. And that's where I was looking for, Martha. Their insecurity. That's the word that you said earlier. And a lot more insecure when you say something to them, they get defensive, and you see the insecurity come out, and that makes you want to just take a couple steps back and just walk away and say, why did I say that? So sometimes you have to watch on what you say to certain people.
Right. Sure.
I don't know.
So I noticed that you put a link into the chat.
Yes, I did.
Is that the link to how you?
Yes,
is that the link to how you pay for the 30-day
jumpstart? Yes, that's
awesome.
Specifically for your audience, a discounted price.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay.
On my Facebook deal, I'm gonna share that right now.
Yeah.
And put it in my Facebook. Whoop, not right
now.
there.
Let me ask you a question. Do you also offer mentorships to business owners?
Yes, I do. Yes,
and what does that look like?
So as far as mentorship, depending on exactly where it is you're with business, how you're looking to grow your business, I may have you work with me one-on-one.
Okay.
Not all businesses can afford, to work with me at the huge price that I'm, of what I'm actually worth, right?
Right.
And so I will work with you depending, okay, let's see how I can actually get you there. Because guess what? I had mentors.
Right.
I didn't get to be here just by this. I had mentors who worked with me and coached me and molded me into who I am today.
So you invested in that, in yourself.
I
Mhm.
invested in myself.
To get to where you are.
Correct. And depending on where you are with your business, after we do an assessment, then I will work with you to see, okay, this is how we can work together. You
Okay.
know, another thing that I always say with people is that, for example, we often stop when we hear the price of what someone's charging for their services.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
people do that. Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
guess what? You're shooting yourself in your foot when you say, oh, I can't afford it, and you just take no action. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation to really look to
That's
see
true.
how can we work together?
That is so true.
How can we?
Hmm.
Because there may be something that you're doing in your business that I can leverage. And we can go, okay, again, going to bartering. If you do this, then I'll do that. You scratch my back, I could scratch your back in this particular area. Again, you're creating a partnership.
Yes.
That's
Partnerships.
how things were done back in the day. So where did it all go?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Partnerships are amazing. Like I love them.
Yes.
I've created a lot of different relationships over the years and very helpful.
Yes.
I would definitely encourage partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 5 minutes left. So I did want you to be able to talk about, how can people reach you? What do you have to offer them? And anything else you want to share with us?
All right. So it doesn't hurt for you to have a consultation with me. If it's okay with you, I'll put another link in the chat where if anybody wants to schedule a 30-minute call with me, you can do that. There's no fee for that. I'm very down to earth. I promise I won't bite. So
Yeah, she is pretty down to earth. Yeah, she is.
I did put my calendar link in the chat as well, that if you wanted to schedule a call with me, and you could definitely visit my website at coachglass.com, GLACE. Okay.
Okay.
But
And now you got a
I look
chance to meet.
forward. Yeah. Go
Now you
ahead.
got a chance to meet Ron.
Yes, Ron. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, well, I want to talk with you about your story where you say you almost committed suicide and you succeeded the last time, but it wasn't your time. That is very interesting.
That is.
When you said that, we had these things up north called the sand pits in Illinois, Lake Michigan, had water come up there and like 2 miles away from it all that. So we used to go swimming there. And I remember this one particular time I went swimming and they told us if something catch you and bring you down, you're supposed to just let go and it pop you back up. Well, it caught me and I struggled to get up. Finally, I let go. I knew that was it for me. That was my time. I remember this voice to this day saying, go back, it's not your time. And it popped me back up.
Wow.
I must threw up so much sand in my, it scratched my lungs and everything, but I remember that like it was yesterday. And I always want to know, what is my time? Go back, it's not your time. And I'm looking at it right now. Every day I wake up in the morning is my time. Every day I'm doing things for the community is my time. It's the time that I make, of it. So when you said that, that brought back memories, and boy, those painful memories back then when you almost drowned and you didn't. Ooh.
So Ryan, another person that you could partner with. And so another person to add to your
add to
platform.
my list.
Add to your platform. And I got a chance to get you two guys to connect. I love connecting relationships. Always have.
Yeah, but Martha is good at that. One thing I do, what she said is, if I get burned by somebody, I'm not going to refer that body to my friend. Not even my enemy. I wouldn't do it too.
No, I'm not either.
So
you have to do business right.
Yeah,
We always refer service got to be top notch.
Yeah, we always referring people to people, no matter what. Martha, hey, Ron, guess what I got? I say, Martha, guess what I got right here? And we always referring people to one another, and and when they finally connect and they come back and tell you, oh man, thank you for that. That person really helped me. I said, okay, you're welcome. I said, I'll tell Martha thank you because she was the one that told me about that person. So
So thank you so much, Karen. We definitely appreciate your time and effort for coming on the show. I definitely will reach out to you. I definitely will reach out to you about your class because I'm interested. And definitely I'll let you two exchange information. Y'all probably can, I'll let you two do that. But
yeah,
thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
amen.
And sharing all of your experience. I can't wait till you talk about, the other experiences, but I'll wait.
Yeah, definitely. And Ron, I put my personal cell in the chat, so I'm looking forward to connecting with you.
Okay.
Like I said, my journey has been an interesting one, and I'm grateful that I'm here today and I could speak on it.
Oh, thank you.
Man.
I'm putting
Well, thanks for sharing.
All right. Okay, thank you. And Ron, got it. Thank you so much.
And Martha, thank you for being. I had this place all prepared for y'all to sit down there. I got crumpet, tea, grapes, and cheese. Had everything laid out for y'all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But until next time, we appreciate everybody coming on board. Really, I do. I appreciate it. This hour went by just too fast.
It did. It went so fast.
Yeah, that's when the chemistry is right.
Yeah.
And that's how we look. I was afraid to say anything. I didn't want Martha to beat me up, but
you was itching. I could tell you was itching when you came on camera. I said he want to say something so bad.
That's just me, so.
He had that, that double Dutch look. Like, let me get in. No. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach out to do the class and see the value in it so I can tell others. I would love checking it out first and then sharing it as well.
Thank you.
And I probably do the same thing depending on what Saturdays, because month of October, for some reason, I'm booked every Saturday.
That's not okay. But, you guys are gonna be grandfathered in no matter what.
Grandfather,
yeah, meaning
I like that.
The price is going to go up. Like, this is actually the third time. How much more time do we have? I know it's probably the top of the hour.
It's his show.
We keep on going. Ain't no stopping us now.
Yeah. No, so I actually started this program, the 30-day Jumpstart, because it literally just broke my heart. The number of times, like, someone says, I really can't afford it. I can't afford it. And I remember when I was at that point. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to create this program, a 30-day program. It's going to be recorded. So even if you're not able to make the sessions, you're actually going to get full access to the recording so you can access what you missed. Nice. It's not that you don't show up, you don't get it. It will also be available for you, always, lifetime access. So you can go back to it again and again and again. And like I said, you have full access to me for a whole month. So even if you don't show up to one session, but you looked at the recording, you had questions about something, I will make the time to work with you for that time.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you may be going, where is she getting the time? Trust me. I work with clients in Australia, for example. Like last Friday, I was up at 3:30 in the morning for a call. When it was 12 o'clock, I was like, I'm ready to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's the tough.
You know what? That's my commitment. And, one of the things my father always goes, he goes, child, I just don't know where you get the energy to do what you do. And I always say this, when I close my eyes for that one final time, I have enough time to rest. Right now, use me up as much as you can.
And the price is really not bad at all because you work with me 30 days is more than that. So so it's really not a bad price actually.
Yes.
To get such a especially when you describe what you give, It's really, you know, shifting that mindset is well worth it just in that alone, you know, and then adding the leadership skills, the systems, the structure, all of that is so needed when you're doing your business. And you can't be afraid to reach out because we suffer in silence. We will suffer. We'll go 10 years beating the path and not and not reaching out for help. I know it. I used to have a hard time reaching out for help. Therapy helped a lot with that. But people do suffer in silence and they rather not get the help they need to grow. And that's what it's worth investing in when you grow. That's why I tell my clients, just like you go to the doctor every year, you go to the doctor, you get a physical checkup. They check you, you do your mammogram, you do your colonoscopy when your age comes, but you go in there to see what's happening with me.
Yeah.
But nobody ever do that with their mental health because they always relate mental health to mental illness. And that's not what it is. We all have mental health. We all have, I like to call, deficit pockets. We all have those where we need to find out what they are so we can build on. That's the part we have the responsibility. We can change those parts of ourselves. And I have an assessment that I do to assess where you are mentally. But where you can make growth in your life because it's going to affect you physically, it's going to affect you emotions, it's going to affect you in all other areas.
Yeah.
But we fail to go in and find out what is my mental health like. You could do the assessment, it's easy, and we find out where you are, and you get to choose which area you want to work on because one area will affect the others.
Yep. And one more thing, and I know we have to go, but I'm just going to say that for whatever reason in our community, we look at coaching as therapy. And I always say the two is distinctly different.
They are very different.
Therapy focuses on healing the past.
Yes.
We're not focused about healing your past. However, in coaching, we actually get you to where you need to go. That's the difference.
Right.
We focus on moving you forward.
I just so happen to be double-breasted, but
yeah. No, but for me, I literally look at it as here's the thing. There is a point where your past actually shaped who you are.
Right.
However, it doesn't need to dictate and run your life.
You got that right.
Yeah.
You could use the lessons you've learned and you could pivot to the next step and the next step. You could use it as a stepping stone as you climb.
Right.
And
that's what we want to do. We want to.
You're right. Like I had another client, for example, she's like, I'm failure. I have 3 failed marriages. I'm like, the question I asked was, what did you learn from that? Now you know exactly who to choose and who not to choose.
Right.
You become masters in relationship.
You gained a massive amount of information, right? It's an opportunity to learn and grow. Ain't no such thing as failure. It's an opportunity to learn and grow.
Right.
You pick up now, if you do the same thing over and over again, now that's insanity. But
you know what I say about that, Martha? The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem.
Exactly.
Y'all funny.
Yeah, so.
I'm gonna have y'all take me to lunch. Hear what I say? I'm gonna have y'all take me to lunch. I didn't say I was gonna take y'all to lunch. But anyway, I just like messing with people. But I really enjoyed it today. I love this chemistry. Yeah, I need to put together my new panel for my November roundtable. I see 2 years on the panel. So that's Mark. I'm gonna talk to you about that. It's on a Friday, and it's at 8 p.m. on Fridays. The first Friday of
I go to bed early. No.
We're gonna take you out of timeout, all right?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but
anyway,
thanks for having us on your show. We appreciate using allowing us to use your platform and to dialogue about some serious things that we need to dialogue about.
But that's what it's here for. It's here for conversations like this for everybody to get to know and to see things and to hear things. And like I said, this station is always open. So Martha, you know, you got an open invitation. Karen, you got an open invitation. Whenever you call me and say, Ron, I need to talk about things on your show. I said, okay, when? Man, I'll make it happen. You know, that's just how it is.
Karen say, yeah.
So,
Hi, Chef.
all right. Well, y'all take care.
All right.
Thank you.
You too. Enjoy your day.
All right.
Thank
God
you.
bless everybody. Y'all
All
take
right.
care. All right.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.